Hey guys, what's going on? This is Real Enthusiast Vehicles. Today I'm making a video on the 10 best value cars, enthusiast cars right now in May of 2026. Most of these cars have lost somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000 in value, which sucks if you buy them brand new, but for us enthusiasts who buy them used, that's great. So we like taking advantage of depreciation. Like I said, most have lost between $20,000 and $50,000. And most of the cars on this list cost an average of $25,000 to $30,000, so they're very attainable right now. So let's get into the picks. I'll break down all the stats on them, and you guys can tell me which one's your favorite down in the comments. So let's get right into it. All right, guys. So for the first pick, we have the BMW M240i. As an honorable relative, we'll throw the M340i in there as well. But the M240i is even cheaper, so some may consider an even better value. So we're specifically talking about the 2017 to 2021 BMW M240i. These cost anywhere between $18,000 and $30,000. As we know, they have the 3.0 liter B58 inline six. It's known for being very reliable. It's very easy to tune it and make a lot of horsepower. But stock, it is, like I said, 3 liters, single turbo, has 335 horsepower, which is very good. That's actually only 30 horsepower shy of the M2 at the time. So it's very close. Torque, 369 pound-feet, 0 to 60, 4.2 seconds, roughly. The X-Drive is, of course, quicker. You can get it rear-wheel drive or X-Drive. Quarter mile, about 12.7 seconds, which is very quick. And I'm going to add here $1 per horsepower figure for each of these cars. Went with an average price of $24,000 for this car, which comes out to $71.64 per horsepower. All right, guys, and for the second pick, we have the C6 Corvette. This is from 2005 to 2013. Roughly between $15,000 and $30,000 for these cars now, which is an insanely good value, especially for the performance. It has the LS3 V8. We know these are very reliable. They make very good horsepower, even stock. They make 430 horsepower, which in 2005 was really good, still is nowadays. 424 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, 4.0 seconds roughly. These are manual, so a little tough to tell sometimes. Little unreliable in terms of the 0 to 60 times. And for the quarter mile, we have 12.3 seconds, which is really fast. And like I said, insane value for the power you get. This one's gonna be $52.33 per horsepower, which is really good. It's basically at their price floor. It's lightweight with a big NAV8. Who doesn't like that? All right, guys, and next up, third pick is the Nissan 370Z. If you want, you can go even cheaper, get a 350Z, but the 370Z added, more horsepower. It's newer, and it's just going to be overall more reliable, and will likely have less miles on it. They sold these things forever. They sold them from 2008 through to 2020, which is crazy. So price is going to value a lot here, but I have it between $10,000 for the low end older 370s to a really nice new one would be around $28,000. This has the VQ V6 engine. Everyone knows it. Love it or hate it for the most part. It's 3.7 liters NA. 332 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 5 seconds, quarter mile, 13.4 seconds. This one also very good value, dollar per horsepower, 51.20, which is actually better than the C6 Corvette because you can get these for very cheap. It's an old reliable, but it's a platform that was around for a while for a reason, right? Depreciated hard already, of course. Simple, it's a raw sports car, NA, reliable. Nothing much more to say about it. Great pick. All right, next on this list, number 4 is the Kia Stinger GT. This is a slept-on pick. Not a lot of people really consider this car. It's very good. average price between $25,000 and $35,000. Has what's called the Lambda V6. Was also used for some Genesis cars, which we'll get into. But this is a 3.3 liter twin turbo V6 with 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, quarter mile 13 seconds. Still a good value here. It's $82.19 per horsepower. It lost a lot of value from new. Some of them have lost something like $50,000 in value already. It's twin turbo from the factory, which is crazy, from Kia. So yeah, this one's a little bit more luxurious than some of the other cars, which is great. It kind of combines luxury and performance into a really good package here, and it's very underrated. All right, and next on the list is the Genesis G70, which is actually very similar to the Kia Stinger GT, has the same engine. Similar value, you can get some of them cheaper, so I'd say between $20,000 and $35,000. Like I said, same engine, the Lambda V6, 3.3 liter twin turbo, 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 4.5 seconds, actually a little quicker than the Stinger, quarter mile 13, which is the same time. And because you can get some of these cheaper, the value dollar per horsepower is a little better at 75.32. These are also luxury cars, but Genesis is very slept on, and a lot of people would consider this a really good M340i competitor, actually. They're very luxurious inside, and they've depreciated a lot and have a lot of performance, so it's another great pick. All right, guys, next we have the Mustang GT. Talking about the S550 generation, which was from 2015 to 2023. Everyone knows Mustangs. You either love them or you hate them. If you hate them, you probably just like Camaros or Challengers or Chargers, and you're just a Mustang hater. But these are some of the best value performance cars you can get. For this gen, you can usually get them between $20,000 and $35,000. Has the Coyote V8, 5.0 liters, NA, has 460 horsepower. For this price is insanely good. 420 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 about 4.1 seconds. Now they do have an auto, I believe it's a 10-speed auto, and then they have a manual as well, so that'll change depending on which you have. Quarter mile about 12.4 seconds. And another really good price per horsepower here. We have $59.78 per horsepower. It's a V8 with a manual. Always a strong demand. There's always going to be people loving these cars. It's a high revving V8 NA. Huge aftermarket sport too. People mod these, and you can really make it yours if you modify it and make it custom to your liking. But this is always going to be a really great value per dollar. All right, guys, so the next pick is going to be the Hyundai Elantra N. Now, this one's a little bit slept on. A lot of people talk about like the Type R, other JDM cars, but they forget about these Korean cars like the Elantra. It's roughly between $28,000 and $34,000 in value. The engine is an inline-4 2.0 liter turbo, makes 276 horsepower and 289 pound-feet of torque. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but listen to these performance numbers. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat is really good for that amount of power. Quarter mile, 13.7 seconds. Now, the dollar per horsepower value is not very good. It's about $115.94 dollars per horsepower. However, what you need to keep in mind with this car is it's extremely light. These are roughly around 3,200 pounds. Most of the other ones on here are going to be somewhere between 3,600 and 4,000. So this one's really light, means it handles really well, and this is overall very, very slept on car, potentially because of the horsepower figure, but my buddy has one and I've been in it and it's really fast. It doesn't feel like 276 horsepower at all. All right, now for number 8, we're going to be talking about a little bit older Porsche Caymans. Specifically between 2009 and 2012, have depreciated a lot, and they're still modern enough to have a enjoyable driving experience, and you can drive them more often than some of the older ones, for example. So we're talking about the 987.2 generation. Now these ones are going between $20,000 and $35,000 for most of them. Two different engines you could have got. They're both flat sixes. One was a 2.9 and the other was a 3.4, both NA. The smaller one made 265 horsepower, bigger one made 320 horsepower, torque 201, 273 respectively. 0 to 60 between about 4.9, 5.8 seconds. Quarter mile in 13.5 seconds is a pretty good estimate for these two cars. And taking the average horsepower, the average dollar for these, I got $93.22 per horsepower. It's a mid-engine Porsche. That's kind of really all you have to say. I believe these came in PDK and manual, but both feel analog. The manual would be more analog, of course, but both have an extremely good driving experience. We all know Porsches are kind of the gold standard for enthusiast cars, so if this is what you can afford and you really want a Porsche and that feeling that everyone kind of talks about and wants from a Porsche in terms of handling, this would be a really good one to go for. All right, next is the Cadillac CT4V. We're not talking about the Blackwing. Blackwing is a little too expensive still. Just the V itself is somewhere between $25,000 and $40,000. These ones come with an inline 4 2.7 liter. It's turbo, but they still make 325 horsepower, which is pretty healthy. 380 pound-feet of torque is actually insane for that small of an engine. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds, pretty good there. Quarter mile in 13.3. And taking the average price here, we get exactly $100 per horsepower, which is pretty good. These are very luxurious and very new. So if you want more of the luxury side rather than just going straight performance dollar, this is a really good one. They're underrated. Everyone talks about the Blackwings, but these are kind of underrated. They have really good handling and they're just slept on. So if you want a Cadillac, if you like how luxurious they are and don't mind a 4-cylinder, cool with that, this is going to be a really good value car for your money. All right, and for our last pick, we're actually going to have any car that's not an EV, full-size luxury SUV, or a brand new performance car. That's kind of the theme of this whole video, is we like taking advantage of depreciation. Unless you can really afford it, but even if you can, it really doesn't make sense to buy new cars. EVs and luxury SUVs have their own problems, but any performance car that's, I would say, 3 to 5 years old or older has usually lost most of the value, and you're not going to be losing that as the person to buy it. So these are probably the smartest cars, smartest age cars you can buy. I'll put a couple more honorable mentions on the screen, but last pick is really anything that's not an EV, full-size luxury SUV, or a brand new performance car. All right, guys, and that does it for this video. I really appreciate it if you stuck around all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. You got some value out of it. That was kind of the point of this video, is cars that are going to be really good bang for your buck. I think a lot of us are looking for that sweet spot of cars, and these are some of the best examples out there on the market right now. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. If this gives you inspiration to go out and buy one of those cars, that would be awesome. Let me know in the comments if you're considering any of these, or if you have any other picks that you'd like to share. So thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.